Thank you all for joining us. We are here once again. It is Sense of Shock. This is J.Mike.
How y'all doing?
GloriousReason. J.Mike, how have you been?
I have been doing good.
They haven't seen you in a while.
Haven't seen me in a while. Finally getting caught up, trying to get caught up on some gaming going on. So, actually, I've been, now since I think about it, I haven't done much gaming, doing classic games mainly. So, but I've been doing well. Pumped for this new PS5 exclusive coming out.
It's coming on PS4 as well.
Or PS4.
PlayStation exclusive.
PlayStation exclusive. But that's what I'm waiting for. That's why I don't want to pick up anything else and just playing the classics.
Yeah. Is it the PlayStation Premium?
PlayStation Premium. Doing PlayStation Premium.
What classic things are you diving into?
So I redid BioShock, especially during the spooky season. I redid BioShock. I played a little bit of Resident Evil Director's Cut on there, especially after the Resident Evil not showcase, not state of play.
Yeah.
The Resident Evil showcase they did. So focused on that. There's a couple of indie games I've tried out. Hello Neighbor, which is different.
Yeah, it's something.
different. So mainly things like that.
Okay.
So Metro, I actually started Metro again.
Like Metro Last Light or
Metro Exodus 2023 or whatever.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, you just went straight. Yeah. Okay. Wow. You didn't even give them a chance. Okay. Wow. Yeah. It's a good one though. That's a good one. It's great graphics.
Great graphics.
Phenomenal. Good story as well. Being in Soviet Russia.
Fitting right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah.
So what about you?
Myself. Okay.
Yes.
So on the Twitch channel, twitch.tv, GloriousReason, I have done a couple of things in October for the, that horror month, if you will. So I did the Until Dawn. It's my first time really playing Until Dawn. So this is what a game came out in 2013, fresh after the, PS4's launch. And I enjoyed it. It was really nice. It was fun. There was like a lot of jump scares, but it didn't scare me because it seemed predictable. It had that classic teenage movie tropes to it as well.
Yes.
The acting was great. It was, the Hayden Panettiere, the Rami Malek as well. So I thought that was good. I've also recently, towards the end of last month, got the new Tales from Borderlands.
Okay.
So I beat that, did that stream as well. Not as great as the, classic Tales from Borderlands, but there were a lot of elements that they've added that gave it kind of like a turn-based with action figures that you're fighting with well-known Borderland Vault Hunters. But the story was okay. It was something. There's multiple different endings, which is good, that I don't think the previous Tales game had. And like you said, just really kind of crunching time to just fit everything in before I dedicate so much of my livelihood to God of War RAGNAROK, because that's all it's going to boil down to. Just really, really excited for this, really hyped up for it. I don't get hyped for many things until I start reading things, until I start hearing reviews about things, and until people are just like, man, have you seen this video? And I'm just like, I want to wait. I just want to enjoy the game for what it is. But then you kind of sneakishly kind of watch it.
Right, yeah. And that's me. That's definitely me, which I've been somewhat avoiding Twitter because apparently some people's already broke Street Date, leaking, the story and things. So I definitely don't want the story spoiled for me. I want to experience that myself. I have been reading the reviews, first takes. A lot of people saying this is already game of the generation, which is saying a lot. 2 years into the PS5 generation, and you're already saying this is going to be game of the generation, on top of showing what the PS5 can do. Because I've also read a couple saying they feel like the game is being held back because of the PS4 version. So if you're saying it's game of the generation on top of, this isn't even top tier as far as graphics performance, not story or anything like that, that obviously just makes me more excited for the future of the PS5 and what we are yet to see, on top of how beautiful and amazing. And
now, if you have a PS4, they are saying definitely cop it. because you don't want.
Yes, so I'm not dismissing the PS4 by no means. Similar to the PS3's Last of Us and PS4's Last of Us.
Yeah.
Pretty much, The Last of Us was the true swan song of the PS3. It was absolutely beautiful on the PS3. Not much better on PS4, at least to me, graphics-wise, which I think that's how they're hyping this up. Yes, the PS5 will be somewhat graphically better, but the PS4 is so well done that it is almost hitting those limits of the PS4.
And they want to push the PS4 as well. So you are grateful enough to even have it on the PS4 instead of it being just totally denied and exclusive on the PS5. Now, when it comes to 2023, you need to get one. You need to get a PS5 because, like we spoke about in the previous YouTube, we did talk about how Spider-Man 2 will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. Wolverine will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. You can guarantee Final Fantasy 16 will be a PlayStation 5 exclusive. So,
actually, I think God of War is the last major PS4 release, other than, like, of course, you'll probably still have your Maddens and 2Ks and things like that. But as far as these story-driven, why we love PlayStation so much, these story-driven experiences, because that's what PlayStation games are to me. Like, they are experiences. They're more than just a game, just how deep these stories are, how invested you get with Kratos and
Atreus.
About spoiled it. I don't want to give any spoilers in case anyone hasn't played God of War 2018.
You'll get shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am. I've been watching a couple of things as far as just people's not expectations, but how they felt about playing the game, with no spoilers and everything. I know that one of the guys that I watched, he had talked about Metacritic and just seeing how the reviews were coming in, and right now it sits at a 94, similar to the 2018 God of War. And I mean, there's not many games that come to giving you a sequel, and if not right on par with the first version of it, the first iteration of it, if not exceeding it. And I mean, I've said since day one, this will be game of the year. People are like, Elden Ring. I'm like, Elden Ring is a game, and it's nice, but God of War Ragnarok is what people are anticipating. And I say that because, we've been in the industry.
Right.
So we know a lot of things to where some people that are reviewers, they do what they're supposed to do. It's nice. They tell people, oh yeah, I'm going to play this game. Oh, what do you think about this game? Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Pokemon's awesome. Yeah, you going to play it? Yeah, I'll pick it up. And then you look and you don't see a near time that they played Pokemon.
Right.
And it's just like, you're just feed it out there. We try to talk about things that we're going to play. We'll tell you what's trash. Yes. We'll tell you what's not worth your money. You're more than welcome, because I'm not there to pay your bills, but I'll tell you, this game right here is something you need to pick up, because I've had so many times to where when God of War was about to be coming out, people were like, oh, when's the new God of War coming out? I was like, it's coming out this day. Put your money down. Boom. Once God of War came out, and just the mention of Ragnarok, people were like, when's Ragnarok coming out? When's God of War Ragnarok coming out? I need to have it. Similar to Mortal Kombat. Like, people are just so, like, well-known. It's so stemmed into the community to where people know a God of War. People know about a Mortal Kombat. Yes, the 2010 and previous of God of War weren't mainstream, but Santa Monica has made 2018 God of War a household name. They published it. They put a lot of marketing in it as well. They put it in the consumer's eyesight. And like, hey, you need this game. Just like with Mortal Kombat as well. And even your Mario games as well. To where there was a fact that one of the guys I was watching, he was talking about that, Greg Miller, was saying that Kratos is the best video game character of all times. Now, that's nice. I understand that, he's my dude. Kratos is my favorite character of all times. But if you look above my head, there is a man that is synonymous to Mickey Mouse, and his name is Mario. He has a game coming out next year. You don't want to just pigeonhole yourself, and I got a point where I'm getting to. You don't want to pigeonhole yourself and saying, oh, Kratos is so great, Kratos is awesome, to where there's a niche of people that don't know about Kratos, and they're just like, I don't want to play those games, just play shooters, cool, whatever. But everybody's played Mario in some capacity, or they know of Mario. And if not, next year in April, they will watch Mario, whether they take their children or they take their grandchildren. They'll have some way, they'll see a picture or trailer of Mario, and it's in the public eye. It's just promoted well, because that movie's going to do so well. I say that to where Elden Ring, you have Demon Souls, which I remember playing on the PS3. You have your Dark Souls, all trilogy of that. Bloodborne, and Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice.
Yes.
You have that all in that from software, to where that's a niche crowd. It's not my go-to game, but Elden Ring definitely encapsulated all of the good things that worked in that, gave you that open environment like a Breath of the Wild, and boom, like everybody was just hyped for like, oh, this Elden Ring seems mysterious, but I kind of want to get it. And a lot of people were like, hey, it's on the new consoles, let me just go ahead and pick it up because it's the newest thing. Yeah. I'm not really big into Pokemon Arceus, and Dying Light 2 was too far away, so Elden Ring kind of fit that pigeonhole of right after the holidays, because nothing really came out last year. There were games, but nothing. Well, except for Ratchet and Clank, Ripped Apart. That was the middle of the year. Ratchet and Clank, Ripped Apart, 20th anniversary, respect, Ratchet. But God of War is more a synonymous name, and it's a story. A lot of people are diving into it. The hype train is just real, and that's what Ragnarok is doing. So I'm really excited for it. My expectations are super high, because I feel that a lot of things are going to be familiar. I feel that a lot of things are going to be kind of different, because we'll be playing on the PS5. Let's be frank. Playing PS5, they got the haptic feedback, they got the adaptive triggers. You have that 3D audio sound as well. So I'm really excited to really immerse myself into places that I've been in 2018's God of War, but also
some new places,
some new realms.
Because you're going to see all 9 realms this time. So I'm excited to see that. Like you said, I have very high expectations of this game, just based off of 2018 God of War, the cliffhanger style ending. Well, it was kind of a double whammy of the cliffhanger.
Yeah. It's a twofold.
Of who Atreus. Excuse my country twang. Atreus, who he is, and the significance of that. On top of, you've pissed off the God of Thunder, which, that's not a spoiler. That's very obvious in the trailer. On top of what Ragnarok means, which is the ending of the gods. So, and obviously Kratos is known for taking down pantheons of gods.
It's in the title.
It's in the title. Of course, that was what we were introduced almost 20 years ago on PS2. So obviously that's what we've come to expect. But the part of Kratos I love, and I guess the high expectation I have for him, a lot of, like you kind of say, it's the niche, and people look at it, oh, this is just a hack and slash, and there's really no depth to it other than running around hack and slashing, and I absolutely disagree. At the heart of God of War is this story of a man who is battling for his family, ultimately, be it his Greek family, now with Norse mythology, how he's tied into Norse mythology and that family of gods. And I think that story and where he has come as a demigod, essentially, that is what I'm invested in. I want to see this story, especially with his son, where that goes with his son, who his son is, what that means for this story, and ultimately what that means for Kratos. Because if you're the God of War who's on a rampage of killing the gods, you're going to have to probably be some tough decisions in this game. Is going to have to be made. So.
I mean, the tough decision really has to. To be real, the real tough decision is he got that call from Mari. You are the father, and he's just like, really. I mean, I did Aphrodite, but I mean, I did some things.
I did some things out here, but
all right, let me find this kid, and then Kratos doesn't even care about the lady. He don't even care.
Yeah. Well, one time deal.
He's like, I want to take my mom's ashes to the highest mountain. All right,
whatever, boy. Come on, boy. Get up the mountain. Do what you gotta do.
So for this game, I mean, granted, it came out April 20th, 2018, the same day as the Labo, greatest invention by Nintendo. I wonder how that's doing right now. For it to be right before Father's Day, and I felt that 2018 was very much, God of War was a Father's Day type of father and son game. And if you don't have any kids, if you don't have any kids, you don't have any fur babies, then I don't think you'd really understand the depth of what Kratos is feeling. You're just seeing, I got this little kid, he's just going crazy, whatever, we gotta go there. We gotta go to Death Mountain. Essentially. Checks nose, Breath of the Wild. No. And so you're going against everything. So the issue with this game, just like in we'll say God of War 2. Like, you're still tackling gods and everything. I'm not going to get to God of War 3 yet, but you're tackling gods and doing that type of thing. Going against these demons, getting out of hell and all that kind of stuff. And then you go to where that Zeus is still there. He's still, like, plaguing you, which is parallel to Freya, who is still lingering in the back. Like, God of War 3, like, Zeus wasn't just like, hey, what you doing? What you doing? Like, he was there, but it's like, okay, let me tackle this god, let me tackle that god, let me do this puzzle. Where Freya, she's just like the queen of the Valkyries, so she's like literally watching you and going to hunt you down, but let you kind of do what you need to do, I feel, in this game. And then, as we see in the trailer, she's going to strike. I just don't know what's going to happen, because now she's just like, Atreus is working with Kratos. I wanted to not kill this boy, but I'm going to have to kill this boy. And Kratos is like, dad mode, like, you can't kill my boy because you don't know what Super Saiyan powers he has. I'm really, really liking the dynamic to where, yes, this is technically 2 games into one, because it should have been a trilogy, but they were just like, yeah, we're not going to wait that long for you guys. We're just going to comprise it all into one sequel. And how is this really going to end? Because we've seen in God of War 3 that, like, just desolation. Once you kill one god, that affects one thing of nature. You kill another god, that affects another thing. And then it's just a tsunami and just waves and death and pestilence and everything just happen, to where Kratos is like, all right, I'm kind of done with this. It's like a kid that doesn't clean the room and they just walk away. It's like, you need to clean this up.
Nah, fam.
I'm hungry. I want food. So now, like, with Ragnarok being just pure destruction, similar to God of War 3, like, what waste, like, with every reward, there has to be a sacrifice.
Yes.
Everything in life, anything that you want, any goal that you have, there's something you have to sacrifice.
And that's the whole premise of God of War. Going back to the original God of War, that was the premise. What did he sacrifice to become the great Spartan warrior he was? Which, to reference Thanos, everything.
Everything, yeah.
So
lost his daughter and his wife, which was his everything.
So what is he willing to sacrifice now to protect his boy?
Yeah.
So,
man, deep.
I'm so. It is a deep game. Deep. It is, and I am ready.
I'm ready,
for it.
And we will find out. We will find out definitely, because we will be doing a post. How we felt, because we're going to drive through this game. Like, I really don't want to do that golden path, which is like playing the game without doing any side missions.
Oh, I can't do that.
Right.
My ADHD won't let me do it.
Well, I feel like I won't be able to level up.
Yeah, and I need the full experience. Because in God of War, I did kind of try to avoid the Valkyries and things like that. You can't if you want to truly complete the game.
There are some that you could miss.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to take on that
I forgot the name, but yeah, the one that flies back and then
yeah.
It begins with an S. I can tell you that much.
Yeah. And then I want to say it's not Sentry, but I know what. Seagun.
Seagun.
Yes. Yeah, because even in the realm with the mist, you really don't. And Jacob's gonna kill me. I don't care. But with the mist, it was so hard because if you try to fight her, you're already losing life, and because of that mist. But also, she's just so quick. You have to watch out for that. So you kind of want to level up or have armor enough for that. And there's a great RPG element to this game that I've seen. But one thing I did see in the trailer was the 2 Valkyries that were kind of throwing you around.
Yes.
I don't want that. I don't. I had, for the Queen Valkyrie, I had Atreus. He was able to help me out. He threw his little quiver in the sky. I shot an arrow in the sky. And then just lightning came straight from wherever she was at, which was great. But this one, like, I mean, he's a teenager. He could be like, Teenage Groot.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care.
I'm Groot. Groot, no! So, I'm terrified of that. But the main event of this whole thing, okay, so we have 2 characters, a lot of things that have happened in social media, a lot of things that happen on YouTube. These ideas kind of have happened. There's to where some people defend a character and such. We want to turn a twist on that, along with seeing who's better than who's. So we have our Breath of the Wild, our Legend of Zelda 2017, the game launcher of the Nintendo Switch, but also it came out on the Wii U as well. We have Link, and that's the Link that we're dealing with for today. So that's the combatant right there. And then, of course, we have our now future, if not in a couple of days, our Ragnarok, God of War 2018, God of War Kratos, and another corner. Now, Kratos is my all-time favorite video game character, hands down. But you have Link,
who's my
J.Mike's all-time
video game character.
So we're going to switch it up. We're going to defend. We're going to talk about what's great about our character. I'm going to talk about Link. I'm talk about what's great about Link. More your Breath of the Wild. Going into the Tears of the Kingdom Link as well. There are things that they haven't told us about, but we have, from the trailer, we've seen the gliding, a couple of things as well. So I'll kind of sprinkle that in as well. And why Link is great. If he were to go up against Kratos, how it would defeat Kratos. But we won't tell you who will win because I'd be so partial to Kratos. But yeah, Kratos would kill Link. Right. And vice versa, J.Mike would say Link would kill Kratos. And so we'll talk about, back and forth. If need be, we'll kind of, reverberate off each other like, hey, hold on a second, this doesn't sound right. But we'll let you, as the commenters, really pitch down who you think would best hoomst your 2018 / Ragnarok Kratos or your Breath of the Wild going to Tears of the Kingdom Link. A lot of these characters, both these characters have acquired some of the things that they've had in the past, but a lot of things that they've kind of dropped by the wayside. So we will go right ahead into, because apparently J.Mike wants me to go first.
Yes.
To kind of see how this is supposed to go. So I'm going to go ahead and go Link. First and foremost, Link, it has been said on the interwebs that behind Mario, mostly Link has been the most well-known character in video game history. He is great because he is he's a mute. I mean, he doesn't really have a conversation. I mean, he makes the so he's a great character. He's down to earth. He's a trooper. He's an elite soldier, which is very much like previous Kratos. But Link, he's got his shield. He's got his Sheikah Slate. He's got his quiver. He's got his arrows. He's got the Master Sword, Master Shield as well. Your glider as well. He's very versed because He has the power. Let me just put it all the way out there to right at the end of Breath of the Wild. Homeboy has 4 guardians that's got his back to the 9, strapped to the 9. He's like, Power Rangers, power up, boop, 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 and they would just come. They already attacked Calamity Ganon like that. Who's to say he wouldn't do that to Kratos? Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Okay.
So he's got that willing, ready, and able. And then you got, Zelda on the side because she is also a Triforce holder. Link being the Triforce of courage, Zelda having the Triforce of wisdom, and then Dead Calamity Triforce of power. So Link is a swordsmith. He's well known, and Kratos hasn't really dealt with a swordsmith. He hasn't dealt with someone that is just versed to really take him out. And I've seen Kratos time and time again, and I've never had to. The only person I've really parried with as Kratos was when either in God of War 1 when you're fighting like the legions of yourself.
Oh yeah.
And then kind of your brother in my favorite God of War, Ghost of Sparta, because he's got the spear, and he kind of goes like that, stabby. But realistically, like, Link is a killer, and people just think he's soft. And
a killer, but don't put it.
He let his hair grow out. He's showing you, I don't care. I'm a man of the land, and I will kill what needs to be killed. He's killed wildebeest. He's killed bokoblins. He's killed so many people. And in Nintendo terms, they just poof. This man can cook. This man is creative. He does so much. I don't know what Kratos can do against a Link that is very savvy and very skilled on the land as well. I will hold back for any more information I need to give, because I will go ahead and let J.Mike go into it.
So,
yeah,
my guy Kratos, the face, to me personally, the face of the Sony PlayStation brand. So how Mario/Link is the face of Nintendo, in my opinion, Kratos is the face of PlayStation. So with Kratos, he is the demigod of Sparta, son of Zeus, also known as the Ghost of Sparta, as he made a deal with the God of War Ares to become the ultimate warrior, which ultimately led to the demise of his family, or daughter and wife, in which their ashes are forever stained to his skin. After dealing the blows of the Greek pantheon, he moves on to Norse mythology, settles down in Midgard, kind of hooks up this chick named Faye, ultimately has their son Atreus. Atreus, excuse me. Atreus, kind of, just trying to mellow out, put the ways of his warrior-like days behind him to kind of become a family man, I guess. Okay. His lady friend ultimately passes away. His son ultimately wants to, I want to spread her ashes on top of the highest point of the 9 realms, Death Mountain, which ultimately brings Kratos back to his old warrior days. He has his Leviathan axe. Leviathan axe, his shield.
Messing my boy up.
Look, I'm a country boy.
He likes Link, I know. And I'm making Link. It, and I'm forcing him to like Kratos.
He has his shield, which I like Kratos too.
Yeah, I know you do.
He's just not Link. He's just not Link.
Focus on your man. Defend your man.
So his shield, and of course his blades of chaos that he had tucked away in his cabin, which ultimately he brings out. Being a demigod, he also has multiple magical abilities. Just being a demigod, he also has his son as backup, who's also a demigod, but we won't go too much into detail of that to forewarn any spoilers. So I just feel like with Kratos being a demigod, with his long history of being this warrior, taking on Link wouldn't be that much of an issue with him. I know Link has his magical ability as well. So I think, taking magic aside, the rage Kratos has for anyone he feels like is threatening his family which I think at the end of the day is Kratos' driving force, is his view of his family. That's why he doesn't care about the Greek gods, because the Greek gods turned on him, and ultimately why his wife and daughter were murdered, even though it was at his hands, but neither here or there. Neither here. It was the Greek god's fault,
That's
ultimately.
true.
At his hands or not. And now, again, focusing on the 2018 Kratos, his only driving force is to protect his son. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if Link just comes for Kratos, it's up there. It's up there because Kratos does want to die. Like that is a wish of his, is to just die. But if he feels like his son is in danger, or what have you gonna see the ghost of Sparta. You gonna see the ghost of Sparta, and Link just isn't gonna stand a chance.
Okay. I like how you think that Link doesn't stand the chance, because he's wearing his green tunic.
Okay.
And he wants people to see him. He ain't hiding in the shrubbery. He's quick. He's quicker. This boy runs. Like, you ran slow in Ocarina of Time because you had so much, especially coming out of the Lost Woods. You're just like, and you need opponent like really bad. Right. This is grown man Link. When you're on Breath of the Wild and you like straight up striding, and then you jump off the cliff, like, this man is fearless. That's the first thing. And like you said with Atreus, if Kratos feels that Atreus is in danger, then he's going to come full blown, and he's going to just turn to rage and do what he needs to do, and then assess the situation. As opposed with Link, his not really kryptonite, but I guess his kryptonite would be Zelda, because he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her. But he knows that, hey, I need to look for her, or I have a mission. I'm going to be that soldier mind right there, and I'm going to get the job done. And because I say that Link is so quick, I feel that he will oust Kratos, because Kratos would need to go into his God mode, or God of War mode, or rage mode, if you will, to get on that level with Link. Now, Kratos has died a couple of times. He's been to hell. Link really hasn't. Homeboy just goes to sleep. He's like, I'm tired.
Night.
Night. I'm not dying. So I feel that, yes, he has his Achilles heel in Zelda. So used to seeing her get snatched up. Kratos not really wanting Atreus to part ways from him, always trying to keep a parental eye on Atreus. And Kratos knows, like you said, he's going to die, so he's trying to give everything he knows to Atreus. But I feel, dipping a little bit into 2023 right now, a little bit of May of 2023, I feel with that trailer, he's got some new weapons as well that he's bringing to the table as well that we haven't even seen. It did show where he went through that brick wall or something like that. I mean, it's a good way to get around Kratos as well. But that little green mist that they were showing was very reminiscent to Twilight Princess with Midna. And I mean, granted, Nintendo's not trying to tell us stuff, but it would be great for them to introduce Midna into, because this is pretty much a grown Link.
Right.
This isn't Toon Link. This isn't...
This is some grown man stuff.
This ain't Link's Awakening. This is grown man's game. So if that comes into play, who's to say that Wolf Link won't come out to play?
Okay.
So I'm not saying that he's going to do that. It's just speculation right there. I'm just throwing that into the recess so we can come back to this and be like, aha. So yeah, I feel that Kratos isn't quick enough. I feel with his Leviathan axe, he loses his edge in a sense once he throws it, because he has to do close combat. A lot of Kratos' moves are very much range. He has close combat, which is, the punches. They're not as gratifying and satisfying as blades to the gut or chopping someone's head off like we've seen in the trailer. But I feel that Link is just so quick and so so versed. But that's my argumentative of being his quickness. But continue.
Okay. So since you kind of looked ahead to 2023,
I did.
Even though we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know, but I just use
2023.
I'm just using what I think.
Yeah. So using that, even though we don't know exactly what's going to happen in Ragnarok, I'm going to go off the assumption, because Kratos is also known of taking the weapons of his enemies, being the Olympian sword, things like that, and using it to his advantage. And I've noticed they made Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, a very central part of advertising and things like that. So something tells me that, and I know a lot of people think, when they think of Mjolnir, they think the MCU and you have to be worthy and all that. It's not necessarily true as far as Kratos. So our boy might be picking up Mjolnir. Okay. And like you said, with his axe, he's kind of limited in things. Of course, the Blades of Chaos also very limited because, wrapped around his wrist, he can only throw them so far. Mjolnir, on the other hand, he could add that distance of knocking Link's block off, come back to me, or, do whatever he needs to, or summoning the lightning, famously done by the MCU Thor, summoning lightning to take care of whatever he needs to against Link. You mentioned my boy has died a couple of times, a few times, but I believe he will use that to his advantage.
Okay.
As well. Kratos has seen the worst of the worst, be it Hades, be it any underworld situation. So being a being who has traversed Hades and the Greek underworld, which is in reality, not reality, in the grand scheme of things, the worst that could possibly happen to this individual, I don't see Link's experiences with the divine gods and things like that as much as what Kratos has done with Hades and being in Hades. So those experiences he will use against Link and his quickness, I believe, because there were several quick things in Hades, the damn souls and things like that, that he was able to dispatch. I can see him doing the same with Link. On top of, our boy uses a bow and he has a bow and arrow too, just like Link has a bow and arrow. So,
okay. So going back to Mjolnir, in the MCU, it's those that are worthy, and even Captain America was able to nudge it. Vision was able to do what he needed to do. Link is actually worthy. He is a worthy individual. He's a man of no fault, realistically. And who's to say that if it's not thrown his way, he's not one to sidestep it like Cap and grab it and have a tango fight of himself. But I don't feel that he would really utilize it because he is a man that has range and up close in your face as well. So his combat is really with his master swordsmanship, and I feel that with Kratos' short range, that would be great, but I feel that Kratos would need to dodge, roll, and then kind of use the distance game as to where Link is the master of distance game. All of the weapons, as you've seen that he has, can utilize distance. His bow and he's pretty savvy. But I feel that Link's weakness. No, I can't say experience. He doesn't have a weakness of experience because he's
because Breath of the Wild, he's the hero from 100 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. So he has experience, and just like Kratos Kratos has experience, but he doesn't want to show it. He's like Goku. He wants to wait till he sees you as a threat, and he's like, "All right, I guess I do it." As opposed to Link, because that's all we know. We're controlling Link. We don't like tell him, oh, you should wait and see if they're strong, Link. No, Link is like, let me end this. I got a treasure box to get. I need some rupees. I gotta smash these pots. I gotta do some things. I gotta cook some food. I'll be back. I feel that with the cooking of the food, he'll be able to heal himself quicker. He has a lot of potions, elixirs, things of that nature as well, that if there were any close fatal blows to Link, he would be able to recoup his 16 hearts. As to where Kratos kind of diminishes bit by bit by bit.
With demigod.
But all gods die.
All gods do die.
He's taught us that. Kratos has taught us that all gods die. What makes him exempt? Hercules is a demigod. What was his fate? Smashed his face to pieces
with his own little line.
Gauntlets. And homeboy's floating in the river. Floating on the dock of a bay. So, I don't know. It's a there's a lot that Link has, and he has Epona as well.
Kratos doesn't have that.
Oh, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I think 1 minute. I think.
All right.
But my boy did turn into an eagle in God of War 2. I'm just saying.
2018 and Ragnarok.
I had to save him somehow with an animal. I had to save him somehow.
So realistically, it's really, what do you guys think? Whomst will best whom? Will it be the skilled Triforce of Courage, Master Sword, Master Shield, Master Chef, Link? Or is it the rugged God of destruction, man on a mission, ready to end others people's lives before he ends his? Because like in God of War 3, taking a little bit further back, he wanted to make sure he ended Zeus's life. And he's like, all right, that's it. But a man that has compassion as well, which is Kratos. Surprisingly has compassion, and that could be his downfall.
I believe, I know this is my boy, but you mentioned Link's weaknesses. His weaknesses, to me, would be his compassion on top of his son.
Yeah.
So he would sacrifice, and, oh no, this is giving me point. Yeah. I ain't going to go into detail, but his son. His son and his surprising compassion and empathy that he actually does have, following the story. Like, you don't think it playing the game like, oh, this is just a demigod on a rampage, but he truly is actually a man. He's a broken man. Yeah. So, and that does come through at times. So I will say that is my boy's.
And he finds, he's learned the word hope from God of War 3. To give him something to look forward to, which conquers over all, which is why the way that game ended. But even in 2018 with Atreus, this kid was able to show me something that I thought was lost or I never had. I couldn't learn from just my family, my daughter, from my wife. I never learned those core values from them. It took this little snotty-nosed, rugged, pathetic little child to teach me to see the world in a different point of view, to trust things, a childlike faith, if you will, in things. Jormungandr, hearing something, your axe, you throw it, the Leviathan thrown out, doesn't come back, and then once it comes back, and you're just roaring at you, I'd be like, we need to go. And he's like, no, he's our friend. It's like, no, man, stop rowing. Daddy row the boat. Daddy row the boat. Daddy. So, it's up to y'all. In the comment section, let us know whomst will it be the almighty Kratos, the Ragnarok 2018 Kratos, or our Breath of the Wild, soon to be Tears of the Kingdom Link. Let us know in the comments below. We would love to know, because we're not going to give you an answer, because we're partial to our...
Very, very partial who should win this.
We need your help. We need your help. You're going to let us know. But for that matter, we're going to head out. Where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter, even though I don't use that much, at jhinder21. Same for Instagram, jhinder21. And TikTok is Superman2195. So.
There you go. Not Batman, but Superman.
Not Batman, but Superman. And that's also my PSN handle as well, Superman2195.
Well, of course, y'all can find me, Glorious Reason, on twitch.tv. We've got the YouTube as well. Of course, I'm here, kind of a mainstay on the Sense of Shock. You can find me on Instagram as well with the Glorious Reason. We're here to, be here for y'all. We give you the truth, the power, and the fun, all bundled up.
Yes, sir.
But until then, we will see you when we see you.
Peace.